I'm Gabriele, and I'm 23 years old. I work with customer success, but I'm graduating international relations. Mm, I do a fight called Rapidor, and in my free time, I like watching series, reading books, sleep. That's it.
Yes, sleeping takes the cake for me. I love it too. Thank you, Gabi. So I'm gonna introduce myself just for Larissa. So I'm Sarah. I've been a hostess here since April. I really love to learn new things, study English. I'm studying French as well. I like to read, but I'm not reading so often lately because my brain it's so hard to concentrate. I don't know about you guys, but for me it's been tough. And I live with my family. I'm a dog person, but I have nothing against cats. That's all. I like to make this clear. I just have a crazy dog and a nice family to live with. And how about you, Larissa?
Okay, so I'm Larissa. I'm 25. I'm an architect. I work with landscaping. I live in Cabo Frio with my fiance, but now I'm at my parents' house in Rio, the capital. And I have a cat. She's Susie. Maybe you can see her in another time because she like to sleep in my bed. And I don't know. That's it for now.
Thank you. We have a lot of cats who participate here. So if I see yours, I'm not gonna be surprised. That's okay. And you, Leticia?
Okay, my name is Letícia. I'm living in Porto Alegre. I'm a software developer, and I've been in Talk and Talk for 2 months, probably. I don't remember. And I improved my English. It's a good place to stay here. And I like do my Pilates. I think it's the only sport I like to do. And that's it.
Okay, that's very good. Pilates seems amazing, but I've never tried before. Maybe one day. I have a cousin who practiced. And here are our questions. The second question. Do you manage to have your lazy days? If yes, how do you find the time for it? So uh, I'm gonna start, then I choose next person so the conversation can be more natural and I don't speak all the time, okay? So I would say yes, it's essential to me to have this time. Like if I don't, I can get crazy. Because it is important to rest and to do the things that you love or do nothing at all. Oh my God, it's so perfect to do nothing sometimes because it doesn't take effort. It doesn't take, it doesn't take, it doesn't, it stresses you. So it's good for this perspective as well. So I usually, my weekends are my lazy days. I tend to let the minimum things to do at weekends, like I don't know if I have to. I sometimes I come here to participate in the immersions, but it's just an hour, so I won't get so tired. I always try to manage my time, and I don't know. I feel like if I didn't do using Monday to Friday on weekends, it's even less likely that I will be able to complete something that is hard, some tough task. So I try to wrote the things that I have to do, to use apps, and then on weekends I prefer to have some. I try to have some free time. Usually I can, but sometimes you have to work or uh, do some things we couldn't during the week. So that's my routine pretty much. And how about you, Larissa?
I try to do nothing on the weekends, and I try to don't thinking about my job or about work, and my favorite hobby is stay in my bed doing nothing, thinking nothing, just relax and sleepy maybe. I love to do this, and I try to um, do my stuff like clean my house and wash my clothes, on Saturdays, and my leave day is on Sundays. And what about you, Leticia?
I manage my lazy days on the weekends because sometimes I like to do nothing. And the Sundays especially, I like to do nothing. But I usually this time to watch movies, sometimes read the books, but not books about my professional, it's only other books. And I think I started a few months ago. I had a lazy part of my day before I sleep, for example. I stop anything I have to do at 8 or 9 o'clock, and I spend 2 hours to do nothing about my work or the other meetings or other schedule I have, because I relax my mind to sleep very well. And you, Gabriel?
Like you, girls, I like. Sorry, I think I'm cool, but I like to. Yeah, like you, girls, I like to have my lazy days on the weekends. Mm, I spend my time watching series, sleeping, reading sometimes. Mm, I like to do walkings too to refresh my mind. And I think sometimes on the holidays, like the last holiday in this week, I just sleep and drink wine and watching series.
What series did you watch?
Oh, I come back to see Game of Thrones because I had stopped in the sixth, I think, sixth season because was so boring. But I I come back to see because I need to finish to start the another series later. I don't remember the name as
House of Dragons?
House of Dragons.
Yeah, my sister is in my foot. She's pissing me off to watch, so I remember the name because of this.
Yeah, so I finishing Game of Thrones to initiate House of Dragons.
I've never seen any of these Game of Thrones or the other one, but it seems really good. People are too excited about it. Like I was at college, and my colleagues they used to stay up late just to watch the TV show, and we had to wake up early next day, and they were all like zombies, because of the TV shows. Because you watch and then you want to comment with others on social media, and so
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time. Yeah, it's great. But I like the
I
vibe,
did it with in my college no, in my high school time. I did it with The Walking Dead.
Yes. Do you like the Walking Dead girls, Leticia and Larissa? Have you seen?
No, I have never seen it, but I have a nephew, and he watched all the seasons and the episode, and he talked to me a lot about the zombies.
Yeah. So he would know how to survive an apocalypse. That's could be helpful sometimes. I don't know. Let's find out. I hope not, but maybe. And you, Larissa, have you seen some of these shows, Game of Thrones or Walking Dead?
No, not really. I don't like this gender. I don't know. I prefer um maybe series of humor like The Office. I love The Office.
Yeah,
I
I've
like
heard about it.
to.
I've heard a lot about it. It's like the boss is um, stereotype, but real at some points as well. Yeah, it sounds it seems really fun, but I didn't have the chance to watch it. But thank you for the recommendation. So let's
Sorry
go go ahead.
to sorry to give the another direction to the conversation.
Oh, I don't mind. I think it is that's how a conversation works in real life. You start talking about ducks, and then you're talking about I don't know taxes and uh I don't know pink, the pink color and why it's killing everybody. I just random stuff. I love this type of conversation. Just like my research is on YouTube that starts with something that I have to learn and then it finishes with something completely random. That's life. And girls, how about next question? I would like to know a little bit more about your background, how your family raised you in terms, question number 3. How did your family raise you in terms of study, work? Did you have the strict parents who, I wouldn't say forced you to study, but make some pressure or maybe not? How it was in your home? Leticia, can you start?
Yes. I remember my father and my mother talked to me about a lot of studying the work. I think I started the work too when I was too younger because my father and my parents in general, there is a bar. I don't know the names, if the names in English, but there is a restaurant and a bar, and I started to help them in this. And I remember they talked to me a lot about the studies and the work, and it's a important point in my life because my parents talk a lot about it's important to have not a professional, the names they use, the occupation, the because if you have an occupation you have a good an important point to work in your life and to study in your life. I remember this.
Yeah, pretty good. You seem that you have a family who taught you a lot or a lot of things. That's the base for us for our growth, as professionals and personally as well. Thank you, Leticia, for sharing. And how about you, Larissa? Share with us, please.
My parents, um, I don't know how can I say ensinaram. I don't
Taught?
know. Taught. My parents taught me to get focus on my work or my homework, do my homework as soon as possible. But I'm a little bit uh procrastinator, a little bit, but sometimes um I don't know, I take a lot of times just because of laziness. The procrastination is terrible for me, and that's it.
Yes, I feel you. I'm a procrastinator too. I'm seeking for help. I promise. That's the main thing to do. And you, Gabi, how was your background?
Mm, my parents always encourage me to study and encourage really well because uh, they always uh, talk if you want something you need to study a lot to get this opportunity and always in my life they don't want to, oh, you need to study just one thing. they they set me free to choose what I want to study, but always study. Never stop to study, because always have to one thing more to learn. So even now I'm working, I continue study, because it's important to develop myself.
Yeah, my parents are, I think, similar to yours. They always said me that if you don't study, you are gonna get behind, you're gonna lose good opportunities. So studying is the key. And my mother used to say, you study to get an A, get a 10. If you talk, if you take other grades, it's just an accident, so you should be amazing and take the best grades. But once I got into college, I think she gave me more credibility, more responsibility, and she wasn't so harsh on me because she knew I was an adult, so I would have to figure it out, the things that I have to do and so on. So, and in my family, it's always about the exams, like public exams, and get a public job. I don't know if it works like this with you girls, but my parents are like, you should take exam for working at a bank or working at, I don't know, the some justice department. And I have to say it's too hard because you have to study a lot and organize, your routine. So here in my
You
place,
do it.
I didn't do it. I have to choose something, because it's not good enough if you do a lot of exams with a lot of different subjects, different areas. You can't pass everything. You have to focus on something. So if I do take an exam, I have to choose, oh, I want to study for the bank, or I have to study for the Embasa, the company of water. I don't know the name in English because it's each state has the company, but a lot public organizations in general, That's it.
I know
I
how it is, because I my my father and my brother are public servers, I think. I don't know how it's in English, but public employers, I don't know. Uh, so they always told it to me too, but I don't like, so I don't do it. But I don't know, sometime, someday, thinking about something in my area, I don't know. So, but I hate doing exams, so I don't do it.
Fair enough. It's like you shouldn't do it just because of the stability, If it
Yeah.
is something that you don't like, for example, they wanted me to take the police exam, like state police or federal police, and I wasn't. It's so not me to work with the police, So you have to choose the exam you would like to work at that company, not only because of the salary or because of the benefits. That's what I think. And Larissa, I want to ask you a question. You have to choose just one, work hard or work smart. What is your choice? And why, of course, I want to know.
Um, I will just work smart because if I work smart, I work less and better, I guess, because I don't know, I like to work on pressure. I work very well in a pressure, and I just work smart.
Have you ever worked hard and you thought, oh my God, that was so bad? Do you remember any situation?
Um, I remember the last Friday in my company. Um, I work in an office, not a homework, and I work for 11 hours in the last Friday because I have a project to finish, and I need to work more. But I know I work smart because the time was so folk. I don't know. So I always need to work smart.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for sharing. I hope you didn't have to work 11 hours again in a long time. Just hoping for the best for you. And how about you, Leticia? Which one do you choose?
Okay. I prefer work smart, but I work hard in many different projects because I worked as a software consultant for a long time, and it depends the project, the deadline, it's arriving, it's a big problem, and it's necessary to work too hard, but it's not good because when you work 11 hours a day, only all the weekends in the month, it's not a good work because you just push the problem to the future. It's don't resolve solve this problem. And now I prefer work smart because you planning your work, you planning your parts of the project, and you work to follow this main topic, for example, but not to work hard.
Yes, we are. We have only smart girls here. I'm proud. That's the way, girls, for sure.
Yeah, but depends the project, depends the client, the mental list of the client.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to work hard before learning how to work smart,
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
step you have to pass. That's
Yes.
really good point. And you, Gabi?
For work smart too, like you girls, because I think we work better to we use our time better. When we just work hard, we spend a lot of time doing simple things that we could do in less time and a better way. So it's I think it's better work smart.
Yeah, I was thinking here at college when the professors didn't like us to use the calculator. I didn't get because in real life you won't stay like this. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to make the math. You have the help of equipment, so we worked hard without needing to act like this. Do you want to say something?
Nowadays, I just do calculating with the
You just gave up.
yeah. I don't do simple simple problems in my mind.
My dad, oh my gosh, my dad's like this. He's in the supermarket and he sees the cashier. I think this the cashier using the calculator. He's like, oh, she couldn't make a simple math, but for this person, is an entire day making math. Making a lot of things. And why not using the calculator? And if she makes a mistake, she could be blamed for it, like having to pay the difference or something. So if I work with numbers and finances, the calculator would be my best friend. I would work so smart, and I would be proud of this.
In the college, I just use the calculator.
Good choice. I've had the scientific calculator, but now I don't use it for anything. I just wasted my money. It was good at the time, but now the cell phone can do
Have
everything.
to, but I never used it before. After
Yeah.
after college.
the cell phone can do a lot of things, and we just rest our minds. Thank God. So, girls, question number 5. Do you believe the workplace should have proper space for naps? Like, why or why not would you use this space? Let's start with you, Leticia. Your voice
Okay.
is going to see this.
I worked in company, there is a nap space, but I didn't use because I don't have a problem with sleep. And one day I think if when I sleep in the room, I will wake up 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock after, and I prefer not to sleep in the after the lunch. And it's not common for me to take a nap before after the lunch, but I work with people there. It's good then to take a nap before the lunch, but not for me. I think I'm too lazy after the nap.
And the hair, oh my gosh. For men, it could be easier, but for us, the hair would wake up all messy. I don't know. Maybe if you have a time to recover, to align your hair, that would be good.
I prefer walk in the street or spend more time in the lunch, talk with other people of different things, not work. When they take a nap after the lunch.
Yeah, clever. And how about you, Larissa? Would you use your nap space?
Yeah, I would like to have a space for a nap. I would lunch quickly and try to sleep at least 30 minutes. I don't know. When I work from home, I usually take a nap after my lunch, but in our office, it's difficult. And I just talking about anything with the people, and I always need coffee to work on afternoon. It's difficult work after the lunch.
Yeah, and did your boss use this space? You think your boss would use if you have the nap space?
Yes, because he living near the office, so it's easy to him take a nap on lunch. But I don't see this. But I know it's happened.
Yeah, I ask because sometimes if you try to put something in the company and the boss doesn't use, the employees will get shy, they won't use because they're gonna think I'm gonna be judged, like if you have beer for the happy hour or something like that. So if your boss doesn't give an example, maybe the others won't use the nap, the hammock, the bed, I don't know, whatever. How about you, Gabi? Would you use this space?
It's a good idea, but I don't know if I could sleep outside of my house. I like my bed. I work remotely, so I used to take a nap in the lunch after the lunchtime. Nowadays I don't because I have a serious problem with insomnia. I don't know in English is insomnia too. Is that right? I think it
It
is.
is insomnia, something like this, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Go ahead.
insomnia. I don't know. But uh nowadays it's hard because of that. But I think it is a good idea. But I don't know if everyone could feel comfortable to use it.
I'm with you. I wouldn't use because I'm an ugly sleeper, so I would avoid the scaring, scaring my colleagues with my waking up face. I don't know. It doesn't look good. And we have a couple more minutes. Let's go to question number 7. Just picture how would our world be if we embraced laziness as a style of life. What do you think, Larissa? How would this world be if people are just, I'm lazy and I'm proud of it? What do you think?
Number 7, right?
Yes, perfect.
Um, I think people could accept the laziness with a rule. I don't know, because it's normal, but especially our generation, we have a lot of problems about have a productive day, and if you don't study or work, you don't have a productive day. But it's not true. You need relax and take time with your family and friends. Life is not just work or study. So I think it's normal, and I would like to I don't know, I forgot. But you know my point. Okay.
It is important to have these times eventually. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing. And how about you, Gabi? Do you agree? How would this world be, in your opinion?
Will be perfect. Because like Larissa said, our generation lives to doing a lot of things in a day to be product. And uh, I think I'm that way too. I have a list to every day. I have a list to do, to activities I need to do. And if I don't complete the all activities, I feel bad and I can't sleep. And that happens all the time. So if I rest, sometimes I feel guilty about that. And it's very hard because we need to do everything, but we don't live our moments, rest moments, our lazy moments. I think the world could be better if we embrace laziness sometimes.
Yes. You changed my mind because I was here. Like, maybe we wouldn't have some inventions we have now because people wouldn't be so wouldn't have this urge to be productive all the time, like vaccines or technology. Maybe if we were too lazy, maybe these things wouldn't exist. But talking about mental health, maybe if these things wouldn't hadn't exist, we wouldn't miss them because we wouldn't know how life would be. We wouldn't have anything to compare. But yeah, it's just a matter of perspective. I don't know. Maybe I'm willing to embrace my laziness eventually, just because of the arguments you brought. And how about you, Leticia?
Okay, I'm not a lazy person, and I'm not me see in the future, for example, to do nothing. I think it's impossible to be, but I know I understand more. It's sometimes you need break your fast things or to do any things all the time. I'm not a multitask person, and I think I live a long time to understand this in my life, and because I was too crazy when I to do any things, and I understand in my professional there is a common person to do anything all the time, so study any things, work any different projects, and now I'm break my career, and I having a lazy part of my life. It's not lazy. I think it's more I think it's a break my part of my career, because I was working too hard and I'm too stressful, and I understand it's a, and you need a balance. If you like to do something, you do this in your life with your emotion, with you like to do this, but it's needed to a balance work life and because you're not a robot, you're not a machine, and sometimes your mind it's break, and I leave a lot of time to understand this.
Yes, it's really wise what you said. And we have a question here about burnout syndrome that is totally related to this. And I'd like to know from you girls if you know what it about this disease, if you know someone who has been through this situation. And I'm gonna start with you, Gabi. Do you know about burnout syndrome? Question number 9.
In a period of my work in April, was the hardest month in my life, because in our company was the biggest period of events, online events, and I started to work 8 a.m. and finish in the midnight working. I just stopped to take a shower and eat, just to that. And it was really hard for me because I was very stressful, because I sleep thinking about the other day, and was terrible. Was I thought get out, but I thank God this time passed and everything's uh, the things could be okay, but it was hard. It was really hard, because you don't stop to you just you forget about eating and doing other things. You just work, and your brain breaks, you know.
Yes, you try to
And
rest, but go ahead.
no, can you talk?
I
And
was
you
just going
finish.
to say that you try to rest, but your brain keeps moving and thinking and performing, driving you crazy. Maybe I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
And you, Lari, do you know about this syndrome?
Um, yes. In February, I presented my final work on my graduation, and it was so stressful. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I spent a lot of day crying, just crying because the nervous. But after this, I feel great again, and I don't cry for many days, and but it was a terrible phase in my um I don't know, it was terrible.
Yes, can relate. I cried a lot when I was writing my final paper as well. I can relate to this totally. And you, Leticia, do you have
Uh,
something to add?
I heard about burnout syndrome. I think the first time it was 5 years ago, and I don't have idea this exists. And now in my professional, it is talked to more now, because more software developers and the technical employees to do any different things and all the time, and the depends the project, it's too crazy. And I remember I I remember a few episodes in my life when I was too stressful in my work. I don't know if a burnout syndrome, but I was too stressful. For example, when I do my TCC and work in a crazy project, and the other times the project is too crazy, and I think when you put more pressure in myself, it's a worst time because I don't say they stop. For example, I don't say the no, and I think a lot of people don't do no when you have a lot of things to do, and this in the future, in the long time, it's the worst in your life.
Yes, I'm learning how to
It's
say
dangerous.
no. Do you know how to say no nowadays? Are you better?
More or less.
Process.
Now, for example, I stopped my work because I'm thinking a lot about this when I do in the future, because in the past I don't have the same timeline to work. It's so crazy. Now I need to know in all the time. Depends the project, and I learned this.
Yeah. No is a lifesaver for sure. I'm not an expert, far away from that, but I can imagine, especially at work relations, if you don't say no, you're gonna be overwhelmed. A lot of things that you weren't supposed to do, because people say, "Oh, she's available, so let's give it to her." And once again, next thing you know, you are slammed with a lot of tasks. Not cool. Thank you, girls, for your time in the conversation. I hope you girls like that. And we have the other one back, Pedro, Ayla, and Wanda. How was the conversation, guys? Was it enjoyable?
Totally.
You were so serious, I was worried for a second.
No, it was very nice, very nice. Van and Ayla are very kind of, so totally nice.
Oh, no fights at all.
No fights.
Oh, thank God. I'm relieved. So I have a question for you, Pedro. We were talking about the question number 7. How would the world be if we embrace laziness? What do you think? Would it be good or maybe not so much?
Totally screw up. I will. Lazy is not comfort zone. There was a question that say that, because lazy is do nothing. Stay the whole day doing nothing. So comfort zone is the place when you enjoy your time. So if you embrace the lazy in our word, you say, oh, it's good to be lazy. We never say this person is lazy in a good way. Every time that we say someone is lazy is not good. So I think if you embrace the lazy, the word will increase, the economic will increase, the employee will grow up and grow up more and more. So I think the word will be a mess. And mess is a word that Ayla used to describe that, a total mess. And I agree with him.
Yeah, I said something about the inventions we have. Maybe it wouldn't exist because we wouldn't be so worried. But we had the perspective of the mental health as well. Maybe we need some break, but find a balance. Not totally laziness, but just find some free time to relax. Pretty good. Really insightful the conversation you had. And Wanda, other question for you. Okay, do you think, last question, do you think laziness can be a choice, or it is something that just happens? Or I just feel lazy, I don't know why, and it is what it is?
I think laziness in a short time is it's a choice. You need to get lazy in our life. But I think for the person, they get lazy all the days, like Pedro said, in a coach, day by day, sitting in a coach is not a choice, is a mental sickness for me.
Yeah, it can be a red flag for some disease. Really good. Thank you, Wanda, for sharing. Always a pleasure to have you here. I hope you treated the guys well, Wanda, or Ayla and Pedro. And here are two links. First one to the YouTube. It is the video I mentioned before, Garfield. He hates Mondays. I believe that he has his reasons, but I won't judge. And the second is to survey. Please give your feedback. I have a special request. Please suggest me something to talk about because would be amazing. I'm here every week and sometimes I'm with other meetings and sometimes the creativity is down, you know. So if you have something you want to talk about, be my guest. And last but not least, Ayla, Pedro said something about laziness not being the comfort zone. Do you agree? Do you have something to add?
Yeah, I agree. I had a difficulty to talk about this, but as I said, I think when we feel tired, you feel no good, and it's okay to take a rest on the time, but all the time to 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 be lazy, I think it's a problem, and I think it's no good because I think when we don't have a purpose in our life, I think it's no good, and like Wanda said, it's maybe it happens mental disorder,
Yeah,
illness. Yeah.
I agree with you. I was worried that this conversation would get people fired because if you admit I'm lazy and I like it, it could be bad for you, for your boss to see this, you know. But I'm happy to see everyone has this idea of finding the balance, you know. It's important to rest, but not so much. You have to go after your dreams and work hard, not hard, smart. By the way, do you agree with this? Working hard or working smart is better than working smart? Or no, working smart is better than working hard. I'm seeing Pedro doesn't.
I think Wanda can reply this better because she hit the point in our conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's hard to get smart if you don't work hard. You work hard, and you get more skills, more knowledge, and you get smart. I think it's that.
Yes, she's a master here. We're gonna have some classes with Wanda. I'm gonna just cancel my subscription here and put Wanda in my place because she's amazing. I agree with you. That's really a good point. And our time is ending. I really appreciate you guys for being here today. Now, next week, we're going to talk about gender review parties, you know, blue for boys and pink for girls. If you are interested in talking about this or just having a nice conversation, please come and enjoy your week. Okay, guys, I wouldn't say girls because I was in the room with a lot of girls. But guys, thank you so much. See you next
Bye bye,
time.
people.
Bye.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.